Hello everyone, this is Ashish Sani from Innovate Yourself. Welcome back to my channel. Once again, I am back with another video on machine learning. Like in the previous videos, you have already seen that how you can work on NumPy and Pandas. In short, if we will say that we have already seen how we can work on data and how we can manipulate that data, right? So this is all that we have already covered. Now it's time to go ahead and let's finally start with the machine learning algorithms which we are actually here for, right? So let's get started and let's understand about the first algorithm about the machine learning. So let's understand about that. So firstly, we will start with the supervised learning, and as I have already explained you like what exactly supervised learning is and what are the different subtypes that we have for supervised learning. And inside supervised learning we are having two subtypes. First one is the classification and the second one is the regression. And firstly, we will go with the classification part so that we can understand what exactly classification is and how exactly classification works when you work with some different algorithms. So this is that we will be covering. So for that, let's first understand the algorithm that we will be covering for the classification. And the first algorithm that we will be covering here is the KNN, which is K nearest neighbor. And under KNN we will see like how exactly it works and what is the process, what is the working mechanism behind the KNN. So let's understand that part and let's see how the KNN model works. So let me explain it to you. Alright, so you can see on your screen that I have the notepad over here, I have the paint over here where I'm going to explain you, and in here for understanding what exactly KNN is and how the KNN model works. So let me tell you like what exactly KNN is. So for example, let's consider this is a graph that we are having, and under this graph we are having multiple data set that we have plotted. We have these data sets that I have designed over here, right? I have added them. Similarly, let me add another data with red, not red, let's say blue color. Alright, so you can see now I'm having a data set. I'm having my complete data which I have plotted on a graph, right? And inside that graph, now what I want to do is like currently I have trained my model based on the data set that I have already provided. First one is the red one, which is another category. Let's say this is a fruit which is named as apple, and blue is another fruit which is named as, let's say, grapes, right? For example, let's say it's grapes. So now what we will do is, now for that I am going to add a new data. I'm going to add an unknown data. For example, that unknown data is this unknown data, this unknown value which I have plotted over here, right? And I don't know like whether this value, whether this input that I have provided is an apple or it's a grape. I don't know about that. I want my model to predict this part. I want my model that my model should be able to predict like what exactly this value is and which category, which value this particular data is. And in this case, my KNN model will work in such a way that it will have a number of neighbors. So for example, let's say n, or let's say not n, let's say k is the number of neighbors which I have set. For example, let's say I have set the KNN, which is I have set the number of neighbor as 5, which means now it will take the nearest 5 data points and it will consider all of them. Let's say I'm having these 5 values, and inside these 5 values I will check like how many are the apple one, how many are the grapes one. Based on that, whatever is the number, whatever is the maximum number, for example, let's say here we have 3 blue values, or let's say we have 3 grapes data set. Similarly, we have 2 apple data set. So for this we will find a ratio, and on the basis of this ratio we will have that the confidence level for having this value as grape is 60%, and the confidence of having this value as an apple is 40%. So based on this judgment, based on this ratio, we are deciding that this data set which we have plotted over here will come under the category grapes, just because 60% is the ratio for grapes. So this is how your KNN model is gonna work, and we will decide that yeah, this is the way how the KNN model is going to say that this is grapes and whether this is apple. But currently, just because 3 is the ratio, or let's say 60% is the value, so that's why we can say this value is grapes. So this is how your KNN model is gonna work. And now let's understand this part by doing the programming stuff, and let's understand how the KNN model is gonna work when we will write the programming for this. So let's understand this now. Alright, so here you can see this is a program, this is a project which we have already covered in the previous session, where we have already studied about the NumPy and pandas. So we have studied all about that. Now what next we have to do is we have to first install one package which is required for finding the KNN model, because KNN model will not be present inside the NumPy or pandas. For that we require another module, and that another module name is sklearn, right? So that another module name is sklearn, and that we have to install. So for that, let me tell you how you have to install it. For that you have to type pip install scipy and sklearn, right? So this is what I will write. So pip install scipy and sklearn. Why I am writing scipy? Just because this is a dependency for sklearn. So scipy is required whenever you will install sklearn, and if in case you will try to install only sklearn, then it will generate an error and it will say that scipy is not available. So that's the reason I'm directly putting it, so that it will not generate any error to me, right? So let me run it now, and it will install the package for you, right? So let it finish now. Alright, so you can see the sklearn is installed now. Now I can go ahead and I can start writing my algorithm for the KNN, right? So for that, let me first create a new script so that I will start writing everything in there. Okay, so now I'm here. Now simply type import sklearn, right? So you can see you didn't get any error, just because the sklearn is available, sklearn is present in there, so it will not provide me any error, right? So this is what I have done. But before that we have to import one more thing from this sklearn. So I will write it like from sklearn import datasets, right? So right now I'm calling this datasets from here, because as I have already explained you in one of my previous session, that in machine learning your data is the most important thing. Your data is the example, your data is the knowledge, so everything is data over here, right? So similarly in supervised learning also, you have the data, and in that data you have the input, you have the output, you have both the things. So firstly, the most important thing, that you must have the data. So that's the reason we are calling from sklearn import dataset, and from that datasets I will be calling my data, which I will be using for the KNN, to demonstrate that how the KNN model works and how it is going to give you the results for that, right? So this is how it is gonna work. So for that, firstly I will be calling the datasets, and the dataset which I will be using here is the dataset for iris, and iris is a flower dataset in which we will be having multiple data, and that I will show you just now. Just give me a minute. So you can type datasets dot load iris. So this is a data which we have in here, right? So now press enter. Now let me just show you. Print iris dot data, right? So this is what I am having right now. So let me just run this program, and let's see what will be the output in this case. So let me run it now. So you can see it has generated a result for you, and in this result you have the multiple values, and it's like you have an array, and in that array you are having multiple rows, and in each row you are having 4 values, right? So this is 1, this is 2nd, this is 3rd, and this is 4th value. And here in each of the row you have 4 values, and these 4 values have a separate meaning. And what is that meaning? Let me explain it to you as well. Here each value is having a name, or let's say there is a parameter, there is a feature for which this value is, and this value is in centimeters. And what are the feature name? Let me also show you that. So just type iris dot I think I'm not able to see anything, so let me just check the functions available first so that I can call them. Let me run it now. Okay, so you can see feature names. I want the feature names, so I will call it like this. Okay, now run it. So you can see here we have four different features. First one is sepal length, second one is sepal width, then petal length and petal width. So this is how we have four different values, and all the values are in centimeters. So similarly, this is a row in which the first value, which is 5.9, this is the sepal length. The second one is 3.0, which is sepal width. This is petal length, this is petal width. So this is how we have four different values, we have four different features, based on which we are defining, we are classifying that what type of flower we have over here, right? Because right now we are having these four value as the input data, and we have a separate value, we have a separate output for this, which is defining, which is saying that what output we have over here, right? So here you can see target is the output, and target names are the values which we have to predict, right? So let me show you that dot target names. So just run it now. So you can see we have three different categories. The first one is setosa. So these are the three different type of flowers which we are classifying based on the input data that we are providing. So in short, based on the sepal length, sepal width, petal width, we are classifying that what type of flower this value is, what type of flower we are having for the input value that you will pass, right? So this is how we are categorizing that part, right? So this is the input values, and right now you can see we have target and target names. We have two types of this thing, right? So target will only contain the values, and that values will be like the integer values, which will contain three different values, which is 0, 1 and 2. So this will say that what exactly this is. This is the target value, this is the output which we have to classify, right? So you can see this is the output for this, right? So this is how you can see, like we have 50 input values for setosa, we have 50 input values for versicolor, we have 50 input values for virginica. So we are having three different categories. So this is how we have this, and now these are the names only, right? So this is the input data, this is the output data. Now what we have to do is we have to use both the input and the output data, and based on these data set we have to create a model, we have to train a model, and then we have to categorize, we have to check that whether, if in case I will provide any unknown values, then will it be able to predict something or no. So this is how I'm gonna do it, right? So this is the first thing that I have done, and now what I can do next is I can just separate both the things, right? So for example, let's say I will be storing these values. So let's say this first thing is the input one, let's say. So this is the input for me, and this is the output for me, right? So I'm having the input, I'm having the output, I'm having both the values, and I have to use this data to categorize that whether it will be able to classify the values or not, right? And for the classification purpose, what exactly we need is, what exactly we require the model that we will be using for the training and the predicting of these values, right? So for that, let me just call that. So right now import sklearn is not being used. We can use it from here also, but I want to use it in a different way. So I just want to call like from sklearn dot neighbors import k neighbors classify, right? So this is what I want to do. I want to do the k neighbors classification, so that's why I'm going to use this. And for that, now I will be creating my model. So knn equal to, so for creating a model I will be calling the class which I just imported. So just call over here, open the brackets, and inside this bracket you have to pass the values for the number of neighbors that you will set, because as I have explained you while I was explaining to you about the working of your knn model, there I was saying that you have a number of neighbors that you have to set, based on which it is classifying that whether this value will be categorized in the first class or into the second class. So this is how we were doing it, and by default the value for this is 5. So currently let it be 5 only, but if in case you want, you can change the number of neighbors as per your suitability, right? So right now I will be leaving it like this only, right? So now I'm having the model. When you have the model, the next thing is that you have to train the model. So for training the model, you have knn, the object which you created with respect to k neighbors classifier. Just use that, press dot, and here you have one function, or let's say you have one method which will be used to train your model. And how you are going to train your model? You will be training the model based on the input and the output values that you have, right? So just type out, not out, sorry, it's input 1 comma out. So this means you will be training your model based on the input data and the output data. So this will train your model, and after you have trained your model, the next step is that we have to predict that whether your model is able to do the classification or not. So for that you have the next thing, knn dot predict, and in here you have to pass the values in just like a two-dimensional data, right? So that's why I will be using two brackets over here, just like you can see in here, like I'm having the main bracket, and inside that main bracket I'm having the value over here, right? So let me just copy this and paste it here, right? But here I have to separate the values with respect to the comma. Okay, so this is how what I have done. I have passed the input value, and I want to predict that whether this value, whether this input data that I have passed belongs to the first category, second category, or the third category, right? So let me just print that now, print it. But right now it will just give you a value, and that value will be either 0, 1 or 2. So let's run it now. So you can see you have got the output as 2, and as we have already seen, like the data set, the values, the input data that I have provided was belonging to the last category, which was the third one, which will be counted as 2, just because the numbering starts from 0. So what does this 2 means? So let me just write this part in another way. So for that, let's say I have to type iris dot feature underscore names. So feature underscore name is like let's say a dictionary to you, right? Or let's say this is like a list to you. So inside this list I will be calling my value that I will be getting from here. So this is how what I will get is I will get the value. Let's say I will be having 2. So 2 means out of these 3 values it will be predicting, it will be showing me whether it's Setosa, versicolor or Vajnika. So whatever will be the prediction, based on that you will get the names for it, right? So this is how I will be getting it. So this is over here, this is over here and here. Okay, great. So this is how we are doing it, and let me just write a message for this as well. Let's say the predicted class is this. So this is how I'm gonna write it. Now just run this. Okay, only integer scalar array can convert to a scalar index. Okay, no issues. Okay, let me check what was the problem actually. Okay, feature underscore names. Okay, we are writing that. Okay, sorry, my mistake. It will not be feature names, it will be target names, just because the output is inside target names, right? So this is my mistake, right? So run it now. Okay, so now you can see the predicted class is Vajnika. So this is how you can predict like whether your input data that you will pass for your model that you have trained, is it able to classify the values or not. So let's say now I want to change these values. Let's say this will be 4, and let's say this will be 4.5, and whatever it is. So this is how I'm going to do it, right? Now just run it. So can you see, with the change in the values, now we are getting another category, and that another category is the predicted class is versicolor, which is the second category. So this is how you can do the classification of the model that you will have, and accordingly whatever data you will provide, based on that you will get the results for it, right? Similarly, one more thing, let me show you. If in case you want to check the training accuracy, like what will be a training accuracy for that, so let me show you how you will check it. So for that, let me write a message. Accuracy is, let's say, dot format, and in here you have to type knn dot score, and in here you have to pass the input and output data. So input is this output is this. And now when I will run it, it will show me the accuracy, and that accuracy will be in points, or let's say it will be in the decimal value out of 1. So the value is 0.966. So let me convert it to percentage, right? So let's say this, and this is percentage, right? So you can see the accuracy is 96.666 percentage. So this is how you can calculate the accuracy for this. And now if in case, let's say I will change the number of neighbors, if I will change the number of neighbors, let's say from 5 to, let's say I will changing it to 7, let's see what will be the change in the accuracy. Now can you see? Before it was like 96.66. Now the accuracy has improved and it is like 97.333 something. So this is how what I can do. I can do the classification. I can improve my model by changing the value of accuracy. Similarly, if I will change it to 9, maybe the accuracy will improve more, or maybe it will reduce. So you can see this time the accuracy is improving, which means 98% accuracy model we have right now, right? So this is how we can find the accuracy of a model, and also we can do the classification of it, right? So this is all about the k nearest neighbor. I hope you have got a proper understanding for this, but still if you are facing any difficulties in the topic, feel free to leave a comment below in the comment section. And also if you are new to our channel, and if you have liked this video, do click on the like button, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, do click on the subscribe button so that you do not miss any videos from our channel. And also you can press the bell icon if in case you want to get the notification whenever we will upload a new video. So till then, bye bye and happy learning.